lightsaber in this upcoming Ahsoka series that she
Yeah.
watched.
Yeah,
because,
Ezra's.
I mean, if you watch Rebels, you know what happens at the end of Rebels. You know.
Let me see.
I'm
Anthony
gonna
says
rewatch. I'm
post-sequel
gonna rewatch
trilogy
Rebels.
just seems
again.
boring to me. Give me a time where the Jedi were in their prime. Yeah, that was the prequels, and they made a lot of mistakes.
Yeah, and then George Lucas sold the companies. So,
Okay,
you know.
let's listen to the strange Marvel theory on Star Wars. Strange Star Wars theory. My theory from months ago, going with THR theme of clones, was that Yoda cloned himself using the Force, and Grogu will emulate Yoda when he's matured.
That's a
Do you-
good theory. That's a good theory.
I actually, do you guys think that Yoda was the one that started the Grogu clone, or do you think it was someone else? Good theory.
I can't see Yoda doing that.
I see Palpatine.
You know,
It's like Yaddle.
it's possible that Palpatine did it.
Yaddle, that's a good one. Yaddle.
Well, remember in the prequels, in Attack of the Clones, Yoda visited the cloners.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they took some of his blood samples, and
I mean, but do you think that would have been at his instruction? He did activate them. He did activate the troopers. Remember, he came at the end of Attack of Clones. That was under his direction.
Well, also you got to take into account the fact that the Jedi Archives also had everybody's blood samples via their midichlorian count.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh, yeah. When Anakin and the troopers took out the younglings. Oh no, but he was already there.
and Palpatine would have had that access, right?
Sabine. Oh, hey, Ethan. Okay. Max, my comment. Let me see what your comment was.
How about a Sith Mandalorian? That would be a cool idea.
Sith more. Have you been watching Devin Mandalorian season 3?
Yeah.
Okay. How do you like it?
I like it. It started off a little slow, but I'm super into it now. I thought the last episode was great. There was that weird moment in the, I guess the second or third episode where they really followed the guy that worked for
Dr. Pershing.
Yeah, they followed him and that other woman, and I thought that was it was interesting. It was cool to watch, but it was like a scene out of Andor suddenly dropped into the Mandalorian, and it was cool. A little out of place, kind of the way that the Mandalorian scene in Book of Boba Fett was out of place. I don't know why they keep doing that. Like, I don't know if they're teasing some other kind of. I
liked that we got to see certain things from the legends, like the Coruscant location.
Yeah. I mean, there was a lot of cool stuff about it. It just seemed odd with this, like, as far as like pacing the actual Mandalorian story and involving characters that are very tangentially related to the story. I don't know where they're going to go with it, if they're going to go anywhere with it later on this season. But that would probably be my only like hiccup with the season so far. Other than that, I really like it.
Mm-hmm. I do want to say with the hyperbolic numbers and all the reports and videos that are coming out, people have to understand that Obi-Wan was like in a Flash situation production. They were supposed to do Obi-Wan for forever, so people are immediately going to show up for the opening there. And the same with, well, not exactly the same, but there's a similar situation with Boba Fett was delayed consistently too, and people really wanted to see that. This is the third season of an established series, so there's a little bit of like fear of missing out, FOMO, on the premieres of both Obi-Wan and Boba Fett. And plus, Obi-Wan was a trouble production too. People wanted to see how that turned out.
Obi-Wan was supposed to be a movie at first.
Yeah. Yes, it was supposed to be a movie.
And then
it was supposed to be announced multiple times.
Yeah, and then Boba Fett was supposed to be like a movie directed by Joe Mango or Josh Trank. I don't know.
Well, Obi-Wan had a draw that was basically you get to see Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen return to those roles. Mm-hmm. So like anybody, you're not gonna supersede that with like the Mandalorian, as good as Mandalorian might be. So like that's a whole different and it was, in my opinion, it was great for what it did.
Well, and that's the thing. You're Mandalorian first season 1. That was the only Star Wars. That was the first Disney Plus Star Wars show. Now it's not the first anymore, right?
It's just not special anymore because we got a bunch more stuff.
So there's a lot of context as to. I'm not giving excuses as to why the numbers aren't as good. I'm just giving you some more context that it's hard to compete with the first season or Obi-Wan and Boba Fett.
I mean, the reports are coming from Samba TV, which they only count Samsung TVs, which, like, okay.
What? They only count Samsung TVs?
Yeah, so, like, TV, like, yeah, so, like, so, like, I'm waiting for, like, the Nielsen ratings to come out.
I'm not going to
see how it is.
I'm not going to throw shade on Samba TV, but I do know they are used as an outlet a lot for hyperbolic articles and cherry picking results consistently. People use Samba TV.
That's the reason why I don't believe them. I don't believe because they don't.
That's like a little context there.
If it's like the Nielsen ratings, like The Last of Us, like it was like keep going up every number every week. Then I was like, okay, I don't believe.
All right, now. With Star Wars Fairweather fans, they say this now. What do you think's gonna? What's our prediction for the end of the season finale of Mandalorian season 3? I think something's gonna happen.
Pop. People are gonna be like,
people
"Oh my
are gonna be all back on board."
So, Grogu has that thing on his chest. I think we're going to end up seeing Grogu get shot, but he's gonna live because of that.
Okay, it could save him. All right. That's a fair prediction.
Maybe they end in a cliffhanger and be like, "Oh, he's dead, but he's not actually."
That's a possibility that Mandalorian armor is going to save Grogu. What do you think, Devin, about this season finale? People are like, "Oh, it's so mid right now." What do you think they're going to say by the finale?
I have no clue. I don't know what to expect from the finale. I don't even know. I don't even know where the story is actually going right now. Like,
okay, well, let's talk about that.
For how the last episode ended. Like, it's kind of fascinating because, spoiler alert, I guess for anyone that hasn't seen it yet. It kind of like Bo-Katan has kind of had like a born again Christian moment.
Yes,
where she saw the mythosaur, she bathed in the waters. Now she's keeping her helmet on. She's like she's like bought into this thing wholly. And I can't remember, like I know that when Din Djarin was captured, he dropped the Darksaber, but I can't remember if he picked it back up or if she picked it up. I don't know. Like I feel like the culmination of this season is going to be a confrontation between those two for the leadership of the Mandalorian, and that Darksaber is going to be the thing.
And bringing Mandalore back.
Yeah.
So I mean, people were like,
well, they know that it's not cursed. Like the waters are fine, I guess. Like there's a mythosaur down there. She saw the mythosaur. Like the armor is telling her, like,
to me, it's like, how they have like the Last Jedi, Return of the Jedi. This is Return of the Mandalore.
Yeah.
Return of the Mandalorian.
I have a question. After the last episode with the Doctor, do you think the New Republic is just as bad as the Empire?
It's just a different, like it's a commentary on. It's a commentary on like it's a commentary on like the oppressiveness of bureaucracies. Basically, like you have like the Empire, which is just like straight up fascism, and then you have the New Republic, which is basically a different type. It's like a softer type of fascism, like a liberal fascism, basically. And like that's kind of, and you get that sense when the senators and all of the elites are around, and they just have like that haughty attitude that makes you just want to punch them,
this could lead to like the destruction of the New Republic that we see in the sequel trilogy.
Yep.
Yeah, it's setting the groundwork there for that. I think it's very clear the return of the Mandalorian they've always been there, but they were kind of in shambles in the last few seasons. They are different tribes of the Mandalorian, and if Bo-Katan does have her born again moment, like Devin said, and becomes a leader and starts going with this is the way. She said this is the way, right?
Yeah.
So if she comes back to the faith, it's for That's going to be a big moment. Yeah.
When
Well,
do you think that the First Order will start showing up?
I think that's a while from now, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
quite a while. The Force Awakens is when the First Order actually shows up.
I mean, I know they've been doing stuff in the background, but I don't
Yeah,
know
but
if like
when they finally came on the scene is when they used
Yeah.
Starkiller Base.
yeah.
Strange Marvel Theory says, so is the liquid in Boba Fett's healing chamber the living waters of Mandalore? Or is the liquid from the waters of the cloning planet? I don't know.
That's back to it's a back to tank.
Back to tank? Yeah, but healing chamber, the living water. I don't know if the back to tank, that water has anything to do with the Mandalorian lore, the living waters water. I don't know.
No, I think
Lots of people use the back to tank that's not doesn't have anything to do with Mandalorians, really, right?
no. It
Like
was
Luke was in a back to tank. Vader was, right?
Vader lives in one, basically.
Well, do you think maybe the healing chambers are made of the living waters?
I don't know if that's a thing for the rest
I think
of the.
yeah.
I
I
think
get the
that's
sense
to
that the living
Mandalorian
waters
lore.
is just a Mandalorian thing.
Yeah. I don't think it has any healing capacity either. It's just like a faith thing, like you getting baptized, right?
Unless it's because of the mythosaur.
I don't have you heard anything else in the story that would allude to the living waters doing more than as a thing for your faith to restore your faith besides like healing capacity or anything like that?
Well, when the armor dropped it into that thing, it did make that effect, that weird
okay.
special effect. I don't know if that signifies that it's clearly special water because it made an effect